All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we're talking Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy and the Switch 2 launch. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 483 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky. Over there's Anthony the Dev at Summerspeak on Blue Sky. Anthony, before I ask you how you are, can I tell you a really dumb story?
Sure.
You have an AeroPress, just like I do.
I do.
Yeah, for the listeners who don't know what it is, it's a plastic tube kind of thing that has a coffee filter, circular one at the bottom with a, like a mesh twist on to keep it all together. You put your coffee grounds in the top and then you pour your water and it kind of seeps through the filter and you have a little plunger that pushes it down eventually into a cup. Yep. So this weekend, I get everything going. It's early in the morning, grab my stuff, grab a cup out of the cupboard and set it down. Usually I have like my special kind of insulated mugs, but I just grabbed a regular mug. And then I set the AeroPress on top of it. My electro chinic or my electric tea kettle goes off and I grab my hot water and I pour it and immediately water goes everywhere. Like weak coffee goes everywhere all over the counter. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So I grab it real fast and pull the AeroPress off. I'm like, did I grab a full mug? Like, is it possible there's a full mug in the cupboard that's full of water already? What the fuck? When I lift the AeroPress off, I put my mug upside down.
I'm sorry.
So I'm just pouring coffee.
I was waiting. I was like, where's the story going? Like, what stupid thing is happening here? I would not have guessed upside down mug. That would have not gone there.
First time in my life. That was pretty embarrassing and also hilarious.
Pretty tired when you were doing this.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I was. I wish I had that going for me.
Oh boy.
Anyway, Anthony, how are you? Are you doing better than I am?
Yeah. I went to the office today to do a couple things across the ferry, but my happiness for today is in the first time in 5 years, we had a 3-boat ferry schedule.
Oh.
I did not know it was going to be, but I got down there this morning to get a boat, and I pulled right on a boat, and I'm like, this shouldn't be here right now. I got here early so that I could get on the one in about a half an hour. Why is there a boat here? And I look at the schedule, and it's like, no, there's just more boats now. And it's amazing. And I was able to get home super easy. That's
great. So there's more traffic, and they've added another one kind of thing?
No, they just couldn't add them back because they didn't have capacity with since COVID hit, and they a lot of the ferry workers retired or left, and Coast Guard rules require a certain amount, training program that takes a year and a half to get certified to be on a ferry, to be a crew on a ferry boat, and it's taken them years to get enough crew back into the system so that they could run all of the ferries.
Wow.
But they have enough now. There are a lot of laws also got changed to make it not easier, that classes could, this academy could start classes whenever they had a full class. They didn't have to wait till like semesters.
That's really cool.
So they could actually just like, oh, we got 15, 20 people that have signed up right now. Fire a class. Let them start in the queue so that things can just keep going, and certified crew can roll on at regular pace as opposed to waiting for like fall and spring graduation dates before. So so I got 3 boats. It's amazing. Because traffic has roughly come back. We're always at 2 boats, and so it made getting off island a little hard at rush hour times. And it was amazing. 5 years, 5 long years,
and it feels like this is permanent kind of thing moving forward.
Oh, it is based on the notices that they've put out. I knew it was going to start sometime this summer. I just didn't realize it was starting, today.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. I'm happy to hear it.
It made my life easier.
Yeah, so you can actually get on and off island without waiting forever. That's
as much hassle.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Before we get into the rest of the podcast, I'll do something now that I don't normally do until the end. If you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. We would love to, it helps us surface, and we'd love to get into more people's podcatchers. So please rate us. We'd love that to happen. All right, thanks. This week, we are going to dig into Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy because it has released officially, right? The 13th, last Friday was in like all the different non-pre-release states, and everybody but me has gotten all the stuff that they've ordered. Apparently my commander decks are still with an Amazon driver, decided to bring it out to deliver today, and then took it back and dropped it back off at the facility without delivering it to me, which is interesting. But I got to play with my Tidus deck this weekend at my neighbors, and I'd love to talk about that. But first, Anthony, I think I'm going to crack a pack.
Do it. I want to see what you get.
We're going to see what's in this pack. I'm going to put up the microphone so you can hear the crackling. There we go.
ASMR pack opening.
Exactly. Art card. I will save it for the end. All right. Starts with Suplex from Final Fantasy VI, which is great.
Love that card, actually.
Very, very good.
I've actually played it because I've been playing Arena.
Oh, okay.
I don't not spending money on Arena, but I didn't know this. So they always give you the 3-packs, but I didn't know that if you go to a pre-release and use your Wizards email, like your Wizards email account, and that's the same email that you have for Arena, you get 6 Arena packs as well.
I didn't know that.
So if you did that, you should log in if you had to sign in at the pre-release with your actual
I did sign in.
email.
I don't know which email I used, so I guess I'll find out.
Yeah, but if you did, you get six packs, just like you did in pre-release on Arena. So I've been playing on there, and Suplex was one that I slotted into my red-white deck immediately, and it's done great.
It's a great one. Deal 3 damage to target creature. If that creature would die, exile it instead, which is great. And then, or you can exile target artifact.
Yep,
both great. And that's just for a 1 and a red.
Been really good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Then I've got Namazu Trader from Final Fantasy 14. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got Airship Crash from Final Fantasy 9, which is cool. That one was used successfully against me in the pre-release. Yeah. Retrieve the Esper from Final Fantasy 6. Blue Robot Warrior. That's a sorcery. I've got Fate of the Suncrist from a game called Final Fantasy 12. Crossroads Village. Ooh, this land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. How do you keep track of the color you chose? Do you put like a colored little pip on there or something?
That, or I have a little like notebook next to me, and I just write a note. Sure. But yeah, like in the past of different things like that, yeah, I've used like a little colored piece of paper or something, exactly. Or like a little like post-it note on it with the color written on it, like something simple.
Yeah, the guy that I played at pre-release, he used that, and I was like, all right, I gotta remember what color you said it was.
Yeah.
But, next is a job select. It's Monk's Fist. Very cool. I like those job selects. They're very fun. Yeah, exactly. Very simple. Next is Colosseum Behemoth from Final Fantasy 2. It has Trample 7/7 for 5 and 2 greens. When the creature enters, choose 1, destroy artifact or enchantment, or draw a card. Okay. I've got another Gyat King of Dwarves from Final Fantasy 4. It's like my 3rd one of those. Poison the Waters. I just love that art with Kefka.
That's a really good piece of art.
Yeah. I've got Machinist's Arsenal from Final Fantasy 14.
That's your rare.
Holy shit, it is. Yeah, I've never had this one.
It's the rare job select.
That's
one of
awesome.
the rare job selects.
Creature gets +2/+2 for each artifact you control. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's great.
It's your artifact deck payoff job select.
Nice. Next one's an artifact. I got another Genji Glove. Equipped creature has double strike.
Nice. I don't even have one of those. That's another rare.
Yep, that's another rare. And then I've got a foil. Was it uncommon? It's silver uncommon.
Yeah, silver's uncommon.
Yeah, it's foil of Rydia, Summoner of Mist from Final Fantasy 4.
I really love that art.
It's good. A lot of these are from 4, which I'm going to get to. That's my next Final Fantasy. Oh, my daughter's gonna love this art. What is this? This is Taru from
Yep.
I don't know what.
14.
14? Okay, it's got a little cat in the background.
Yep, Tataru. You're the business owner. Secretly incredibly good entrepreneur in Final Fantasy 14 who gives the Scions all their money.
Oh, okay. Well, my daughter's going to love the art. So I guess here the Machinist Arsenal is the top card here.
Machinist Arsenal and the Genji Gloves are the two gloves, double rare pack. That actually happens more than often than not in these packs, I'll be honest. Opening a box. Like the packs, a play booster pack says it has like between 1 to 4 rares. And it's pretty common to get 2, I'll be honest. Not every pack, but like 1 and 3, you're getting a couple extra. You're getting a rare plus a little bit more. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It feels good. I'll say that.
Bless me. Yeah, that's cool. This is good. I like getting each pack having some that I don't have yet. So it's very cool. So that's my pack for the day. For Father's Day yesterday, I opened 3, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon when I played with my friends and my daughter, and then 1 last night. So yeah, yesterday.
Very cool.
I don't know. I traded my daughter an Aerith for a Clive double face card. She ended up getting a second one, so I gave her one of my Aeriths, not the regular one, I guess, is the one I gave her.
Not the character. Art or whatever. I don't know all the treatment names that they have going on here. Yeah. Game number behind the character. That's what I...
Yes, exactly. Right. I got a Tifa one of those, which is just beautiful. So
That's
happy.
Rad.
So happy. But yeah, Final Fantasy, much like the Switch 2, we'll talk about in a little bit, has got off to a good start. Can't find shit in stores. I was going to go buy like another couple of boosters just for fun. And they're like, we don't have any. It's like, you don't have any regular boosters? They're like, nope, nothing. Nope. Cleared out.
Yeah. It's the 2 main stores here in Seattle that I go to, Mox Boarding House and Meeples. They're both out. Mox has been out since effectively like the Tuesday after pre-release. And
yeah, my store was Monday.
They're like the biggest store in the area. And they're out. And the Meeples is smaller, and that's where I bought an extra 2 packs from them because they saved some boxes and they opened 1, and they were limiting people just on a few packs. And then they still had, they said 3 or 4 boxes that they weren't selling because they were using it for drafts and sealed events over the next month.
Sure.
Because they can't. They're like, we don't know when we're going to get more, and we want to be able to play drafts for people. Let people come in and draft.
That's a good idea. Maybe go to a draft. I haven't done anything besides pre-release.
Draft is hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it before.
It's so complicated.
Yep, it really is. Yep. That's one where you open a pack, choose a card, and then pass it to the left.
You do 3 packs that way.
Yep.
And then you have to make a 40 card deck.
Yep. And you're like vacillating between like, you're going to choose the best card here versus cards that are going to help me win. It's like, oh man. Yeah.
Yes. It's very fun, but to do it well truly actually requires a fair amount of knowledge on all the cards in the set. And that takes a while.
Which I don't have. My neighbor's doing a 6-person kind of impromptu tournament, not with Final Fantasy, but with Foundations, where 2 Foundation packs that you shuffle together and make a deck on Thursday. So that'll be fun.
It's 2 Foundation packs. You just shuffle them and play.
Exactly. That's right.
I think that's called Mini Masters or something. They used to do that at tournaments. Not tournament. Sorry. They did it at conventions. So for the years, that was a format that you could play at PAX pretty easily. And it was like not a straight tournament. It's like, hey, get your two booster packs, shuffle them, and then just get in games over the PAX weekend, and you get, for every win, you get another booster pack or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just a fun, very casual way to play. Not high stakes at all.
Yeah.
That's a fun format. Foundations would be a good choice for that.
Yeah, and the cards are good through like 2030, I think. That's how long the...
Yeah, at minimum, they said.
Yeah.
5 years at least. That is something to point out for anyone getting into Magic now with Final Fantasy. You might start hearing a lot about rotation. Rotation happens in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It won't rotate Final Fantasy, of course. That will be in standard for like 3 years.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 or 4 sets rotating out older things. So that's just a thing that happens if you play standard in Magic. If you're playing Commander, nothing rotates ever. Enjoy your cards for forever.
Yeah, that's why Commander is so popular. It's
yeah.
You never have to like say goodbye to cards.
Yeah, and it's a much more casual format than like standard is. I mean, that's what you do with any of the Pro Tours. And,
yeah, right.
Any of that's like, do you want to play Magic for like true competitive? Standard is kind of where it's at, although there's modern as well now. But standards can be pretty expensive to play in, and it requires a lot of time, skill. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So
I like playing for fun.
There's a lot of pro poker players that moved over to Magic Pro Tour.
Really?
Yeah, because there's less variance than poker.
Well, and sure, but there's a lot more shit to learn. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what some of the best Pro Tour Magic players have been ex-pro poker players. That's so interesting. Okay. Yeah, way less variance, I would assume.
Yeah, less variance. I mean, of course, you can probably win a hell of a lot more in pro poker, but the chance of winning it is much lower in pro poker.
Yeah, it's like lottery, right?
Yeah. So interesting there. But yeah, no, it's really fun. You got to play last night in a Commander with...
I got to play my Titus deck, the Final Fantasy 10.
And you used Titus as your commander?
I used Titus as a commander. Only came in once, and my daughter exiled it pretty much immediately. So I didn't get to use any of the abilities, and I never brought him back in.
She knows the correct way. See a commander come into the table, get rid of it immediately. Don't let him do anything with it.
I did the same thing. My neighbor had his commander out, and I was like, nope, that's gone. Oh man. It was a long game. We played for 2 hours and didn't finish. We had to go home and do dinner and bedtime, but we played for 2 hours and didn't finish. So the last turn, it was like whoever has the most life at the end wins. But it was really fun. I think it would be fucking annoying to play against my deck, that Titus deck, because that proliferate counters, like I was just proliferating shield counters, and it was just like, now it's got 7 shield counters. Like, fuck, you got to find a different way to wipe it.
What do shields do in Magic?
If it could be damaged or destroyed, it prevents it.
Okay.
So
does it prevent sacrifice?
I don't know, because it didn't say sacrifice.
That's how you can get around indestructible.
Right, exactly.
So I'm wondering. That's what I think. I'm just like, I've never played with a card that does give shield counters, so I don't actually know what they do.
Yeah, so obviously was there with my neighbor who plays a ton of Magic, and same thing I asked. It was like anything that can damage or destroy, it blocks it. Everything else, it doesn't block it.
So sacrifice probably not.
Sacrifice probably not. Board wipe, that's destroying, as far as I understand.
That's destroy unless it's. There are some board wipes that say, it's rare, that say all players sacrifice all their creatures.
Yeah, right.
There's a few board wipes that do that, but most of them are destroy all creatures or deal this much damage. Another way to get around it would be something that gives it -X toughness. There's board wipes that say give everything minus.
Oh yeah.
-13 toughness.
But isn't that damage? Isn't that damaging?
No.
Oh, okay.
Negative toughness is not considered a damage.
Interesting.
And if it ever hits, if toughness ever is 0, then it's not destroyed, killed, whatever. But that's a way to get around indestructible. Yeah,
well, then there's another way. There was a character I had with the shield counters on it that also, I don't know the name. I've not played 10. So there's a party member you get that's a cat warrior.
Kamari.
Yeah, Kamari. So I had Kamari, and Kamari has a thing which whenever you start combat, add a +1/+1 counter to it. Okay. And then I was also able to proliferate that. So it was just getting huge. And then my daughter used a removal card, and I can't remember which one it was, but we all ruled that could remove that card. So despite all the 9 shields I had on it, it was gone. So yeah, basically my daughter fucked me over big time. So our neighbor won, which was fun, but we had a good time. My daughter played Bloomburrow, my neighbors played their custom decks, and I played Tidus, and it was awesome because my neighbor loves Final Fantasy and loves 10 too. 9's his favorite, but 10 too. Not 10 too, but 10 as well.
I know, sure.
And then it was just fun for him to see each card. Every time I played a card, I was like, can I see that? Can I read it? Can I look at it? And then he's like, I can't wait for you to come over again because I don't want to see the rest of the cards. I want to be surprised. So it was cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. I think I posted in Discord. I was if you run, I can't say, is it Yuna? Yeah, it's Yuna as the commander, or if you have Yuna out.
I had her out.
If you have her, I think they printed Hardened Scales in here. Which is let's see. Yes, Hardened Scales. I have the deck in front of me, which says if one or more +1/+, it's an enchantment. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put there instead. So you're always putting a +1. And then I want to say, if I can find the other card, it's a white card. Gata and Luza.
Oh yeah.
When Gata and Luza enters, choose target creature you control. Actually, you don't need Yuna for this. It's just Gata, Luza, Hardened Scales. If choose target creature you control. If damage would be dealt that way to that creature, this turn prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So Hardened Scales would say, well, you would put, let's say you did one, if it got 1 damage to it, you would put 2 +1/+1 counters.
Right. There's
a card in this deck called Walking Ballista. Did you see that one?
I did not see that one. No.
Is
that the infinite combo that you're talking about?
Yeah. It's just an XX casting cost, so just pay it for 2. This creature gets X +1/+1 counters on it when it comes in. If Hardened Scales is out, it would get 2. Start with 2 instead. But you can remove a +1/+1 counter from this creature. It deals 1 damage to any target. So the infinite loop is you have that out. You play it for 1 because Hardened Scales is out. It gets 2 counters. You have Gata out. You now say at instant speed, remove a Walking Ballista counter targeting it itself. It deals 1 damage to itself. Gata prevents that damage and gives it a +1/+1 counter because of that damage. Hardened Scales gives it 2 instead, so now it has 3 counters on it.
Oh, wow.
And it just infinitely goes up until you have infinite counters, and then you target every player at the table in instant speed and just kill them all.
Right, so the moment you start that, you're like, everyone's dead.
Yeah, unless they can have some form of intervention to like counterspell one of those coming out or cancel an ability. Yeah, once this starts going, you win.
And that was known when they printed this, right? They're like, we want to put an infinite combo in here.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I assume they did. That's kind of crazy, though. I tend not to.
Right, exactly, because like that's no fun, really. It's like, oh, okay, this is a fucking S tier deck now.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's Commander, so you have to get all those. You have to get all those cards out. So
exactly, yeah.
Usually in Commander, it's pretty unlikely, and if it does happen, it's like I would say everyone at the table is like, okay, that's kind of cute, because it took so long for you to put that together, and we didn't stop you.
Exactly. Yep.
No, Yuna had one that there's another using Walking Ballista with Yuna is when she taps, you can tap her to give mana of any color to cast the next creature spell you cast.
Right.
And it comes in, it gets plus to cast a creature spell. When it comes in, it has +2/+2 counters. No, you can use that mana for anything. It's just if you use it for a creature, it gets +2/+2 counters on it. There's auras you can equip that are effectively it's an aura that you can put on her that's like 1 blue mana, untap her. And since those 2 clauses, the counters and the mana are separate, you can keep tapping and untapping her infinitely.
Oh my god. And
the stacks of the counter, the +1 counters that she will give the next creature you play go to infinite.
Wow.
And you can do Walking Ballista that way too. It's dumb. I look at her. I'm like, you just printed something where you can just make infinite combos. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure other players will have fun with it, but
yeah, it's just the idea of getting them all out.
Yeah, with her it's easier. You just need 2 cards. With her, if she's your commander, you kill her on sight. If someone plays her, you're like, nope, get rid of Guna right now. Yeah, so that's cool though. You have fun with the deck though?
Oh, it was so fun. I thought it'd be a little more complicated than it ended up being. And I learned some new stuff. I learned how to proliferate. I learned how shield counters work. Like none of these mechanics I've used before. So I just love a new deck where I don't pre-read anything, and then it's just a surprise to me when I
play the cards.
Yeah, it's really fun to discover that. Eventually you get used to the deck and then know how to strategize around it. But it was fun. So looking forward. I've got the 7 Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 6 decks on the way, and those will be fun. I think 7's an equipment deck.
It is,
which is a lot of fun, especially those job selects. And then I don't know. I think 6 is like a graveyard deck.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot of graveyard shenanigans in 6.
Well, it just matches the games. So I don't know 10, but I know 6 and 7, and it really matches those games really well, especially the second half of 6.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they did a great job with the set overall. The commander set, the main set, like. It is very much a love letter to the brand.
And I don't know if they can do it again. Like what I don't know what fucking video game property is there that's just like that prolific that has so much you can dig into,
I don't there's not a lot. Actually, I worry now that Hasbro's going to get the wrong message from all of this. Because this set's going to be huge.
Yep.
And then they're going to be not the next set, but the set in October is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's going to sell well. I don't think it's going to sell well as this.
No.
And they're going to be like, why isn't Marvel selling that high? Like, what's going on? What are you screwing up, Wizards? I always worry about Hasbro as a big, dumb corporation and taking the wrong lessons from this. But no, I don't know of another property that Wizards could actually do. If they did Zelda, I think Zelda could be huge. But I don't think Nintendo would give it to them.
No, I don't think so either, but goddamn.
Pokemon, but Pokemon has its own game.
Yeah, it has its own game. Yeah, it's not going to be Pokemon.
Like, those are the big other video game properties. I don't think Mario fits really well with the Magic theme. I would say that. Like, that's huge and well known, but I just don't. It doesn't slot in to the gameplay.
The Witcher, I don't think is prolific enough, but if you threw in the books too, God.
Maybe. It could be good. I'm curious now what we'll see next. It'll be years before we see something else, because a success like this will probably have other companies coming to Wizards saying like, hey, are you interested? But it still takes them 3 to 5 years to make a Magic set. So
even their baseline ones, like wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's about 4 years from when they start to whenever it hits store shelves.
Yeah. Because the next one's like the New Horizons, or not New Horizons, the space one.
Edge of Eternities.
That's it.
Which is space. And then Spider-Man's after that.
And then Avatar.
And then Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And that's Universes Beyond too, right? Avatar.
It is.
Well, and so is Spider-Man, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they haven't announced anything for 2026.
Yeah.
So, part of me wonders if Square will come back to them and like, hey, you want to do another set? Like, it would take them 3 or 4 years to make another set. And I'm just like, what would it be at that point?
Of Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And is it a one and done thing, or now that both companies have seen how successful it is, they want to see if they can do it again? But like I said, it would probably take a minimum 4 years.
And you'd be making commander decks for like 9 and 12 and whatever.
Yeah,
else.
you could do the other games. You could do spin-off games. Some of the spin-off games.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Like, there's possibilities there, and doesn't have to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if there are conversations that might start because of how successful this is. Because these are
why not?
both
It's
Square
money.
and Hasbro both want to make money.
Yep. Well, I worry like the message that from the selling out of this is going to be we charge too little. We should charge more.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad, but
yeah,
it's true. They're like, oh, clearly we could have asked more money because people are playing quite a bit of a premium on certain products.
Yep. Oh god, those fucking collector boosters are just
whatever
outrageous.
Yeah, and I mean I get it to a point. Like if you would have got them early, that's fine. I don't think paying $750 for them is you're ever really gonna make your money back on that. But they're never gonna print them again. So
right, exactly.
I mean, there's a part of me it's like I considered it. I could have got one day they went up on Amazon for like their normal MSRP, which is around $450
for a box.
But I was like, that for a box. I'm like, that's so expensive still.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wouldn't open it. That would just been like, do I buy it and just save it for 5+ years and then sell it for a ton?
Yep.
Because I'm sure people will want those boxes 10 years from now still.
Oh yeah. Right.
But no, I couldn't bring myself to spend $1,000 on my total order.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. I'm already in for 3 commanders and 2 booster boxes and a fucking gift bundle and 2 starter decks.
Are you going to get the last commander deck whenever they inevitably will come back to MSRP price because they'll print more of them? Are you going to get the 14 just to fill out the collection?
Yep. I will wait to fill out the collection. I just don't play 14, so I was like, this is not going to be something that's going to...
Yeah, you're going to be like, what are these cards?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to connect to it, but I kind of feel like I need to get it to finish the collection at some point. So yeah, when it comes, I'm not in a hurry. If it gets reprinted and it comes out again, eventually... I don't know if it's going to come to Costco one day or whatever. I don't think it's going to be that.
Give it a couple years. I mean, that's how long the Lord of the Rings decks took, like 1.5 years, 2 years before they were bundled and put at Costco.
Yeah,
and you can still get all those Lord of the Rings decks that were going for much higher than MSRP for less than MSRP now because Wizards printed a bunch of them, kept printing a bunch of them.
We want people to be playing these cards and playing with these decks.
Yeah,
so I'm going to wait. But I've really enjoyed 10. I'm looking forward to playing 10. I've been playing 9 this week again. I'm at Dark City Treno, and I'm trying to get the Blood Sword for Steiner. Getting those coins, the Zodiac coins or whatever. I need 2 more to get it.
I'm trying my memory of 9 is pretty sparse. Like I know like key highlights. Like, how far into the game is that?
I'm into the middle of disc, or excuse me, like the first third of disc 2.
Okay. All right. No, there's still a lot of revelations you don't know yet. So,
there's still. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit going.
Mostly from your thing of saying like Zidane sucks, and I'm like, yeah, but you haven't learned a lot about Zidane yet.
No, nothing. No, he's just annoying.
He hasn't done his arc.
Yeah. I assume there will be a redemption arc.
He doesn't end a complete bumbling fool, and you also get to understand a lot more about his character, and it's not. I would say take nothing in that game for face value. Any of the characters or what's going on and who they are in some ways. Like there's twists to all the characters in interesting ways.
That's cool.
That's why people connect so much with these characters, because they have all of them get really big character moments through the game.
That's cool because I already, despite not liking Zidane very much, I'm liking the story of this game better than anyone except for 7 right now. I think it's really interesting and really well written and really well done. And I do like having played some of the later ones. And then now having gone on the RPG backlog, going through 1, 2, and 3, like there are significant nods back to those early games.
This is Sakaguchi's 9 was Sakaguchi's last Final Fantasy,
right?
So this is what he did before he left Square and was like his swan song to those early games. Like because he made 1 through 6. Really, he wasn't super involved on 7 or 8. No, that was Nomura and other team.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 was his again. And then of course he left.
Right.
After the Enix, was that when the Enix merge happened? No. He left some point after that, after like the Final Fantasy movie failed miserably.
Yeah.
We should do a fun. Have you watched that movie ever?
I saw it in the theaters.
So did I. Do you remember it? I feel like I need to watch it again.
Very little.
To remember how like not good it is.
I tried watching fucking Advent Children. I bought Advent Children last year, and I started watching. I was like, "Whoa, God, this is not good."
It's weird as hell.
Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? I need to get through that, but it was rough. Yes. It was rough.
And that's when you realize all the main characters in 7 are superheroes.
I guess I didn't get to that part where I realized that.
Yeah, you get to the end of that thing, like the big climax, like action scene that goes on for like 20 minutes, and you're like, these characters are doing incredibly ridiculous physical stunts, like insane superhero level things.
Oh, it's just Marvel.
They just are, and you're just like, okay, these are crazy. Yeah, Marvel long before there was ever the Marvel movies.
Exactly. Well, right. So, obviously playing set 9 a bit, just whatever. But the fucking Final Fantasy set and really get into it, I was like, So maybe I'll go back to 7 remake. And then I can't because I downgraded my PlayStation back down to just basic, whatever essential. And apparently I played 5 through their service extra or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? But now that I have a disc drive on my Pro, I can put in my Final Fantasy 7 remake discs for my PS4, and then you get the 5 PS5 upgrade free. So I started playing last night. I was like, God damn it, this game is so fucking good. I played the first 2 chapters last night. I was just like, God damn it, this is so good.
It's really good.
It's so good, and I get it. No, I get it way better now. I know who the characters are, so I'm like, oh wow, this is really. I'm getting a lot more nuance the second time through. And I didn't realize they added it's called a Head Start mode, which basically they added it 6 months ago to remake. So you can start at like level 45 with like a bunch of good gear and a bunch of gold. So you're kind of just leveled up to start the game. And I was like, fuck it, why not? I've already played it. I want to play it, experience it for the story. So fuck it, why not? It's like a boost mode basically. So yeah, that's some fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we talked all that and talking about sales. Switch 2, we said we were going to talk about that a little bit. You have one, I don't. 3.5 million people around the world have one.
That's now. Wow. And in the US, 1.1, which is the fastest selling console ever, being out the
Doesn't
PS4.
Doesn't surprise me.
What surprises me is they had the stock. Like they really, they beat the scalpers.
They've been making them for a while.
Clearly.
Getting that pipeline going and getting them ready to go. Because I think before we started, I said that, well, I can't walk into my local shop here and get one any of the stores here. I see them coming back up in stock consistently, at least once a week, if not more. Like, I wouldn't be terribly worried. If you want to get one, you try a little hard, but you'll probably get a Switch 2. It's kind of crazy. Nintendo, I think, gave people what they wanted here. Which is really just more Switch, just a better Switch.
It's a Switch Pro. It is it's a faster Switch. My daughter was playing Tears of the Kingdom today, and for some reason we can't get the Zelda Notes app to work with it. I'm not sure what's going on. It works fine with Breath of the Wild. But anyway, she was playing and she's like, holy shit. Oh, she didn't say holy shit. She's like,
it'd be amazing. I'm sorry.
But it loaded in like 5 seconds. She was like, whoa, it already loaded. Because she's so used to it taking fucking 40 seconds or whatever to load. It blew her mind. And it was just, God, it looks so good, man. It looks so fucking good. Like you can I can tell 60 frames, right? It just looks so good. I think Mario Kart World, by the way, we play 4-player a lot. And then we switched to just playing 2-player after my wife went to cook dinner. I was like, oh, fuck. It's 60 frames. That must mean the 4-player is 30 frames. I need to look that up.
Interesting.
But Breath of the Wild at 4K 60 is how God meant that game to be played. It is incredible. I'm headed to Hot No Village right now to get I forget what it was, to do whatever that quest is with Robbie, to get something on my sensor maybe. But it's just like, oh man, this game is fucking great and so much better in 4K 60.
Yeah,
so
I mean that is the thing that's the thing that will tempt me.
It really, like, I was thinking like, oh, it's a game we played 8 years ago, but I haven't played it in 8 years. This is the way to replay it. And then, on top, my Mario Kart World is just so much fucking fun. It is incredible. That knockout tour is incredible. Some of the locomotion of the game, I'm not sure that I like it better than 8. Like, the drifting in 8 is so good. And now there's like this, if you're going on a straightaway, you can hold jump to like get a boost, but it slows you down to boost. And it's like, what the fuck is the point of this? The grinding is interesting. There's just so much chaos with 24 characters that it sometimes just seems like Mario Party more than anything. You're in the front and then you get fucking hosed and lose at the last second, like at Mario Party. But there's 50 characters. There's so much fun stuff to uncover. I was playing the free roam mode for the first time, like really getting into it, doing the P-switch challenges, which are a lot of fun. So far, there hasn't been anything that's been really repetitive. It's just been a lot of fun. Some challenges that are so hard that I can't beat them, which is kind of cool to have something to shoot for. I think last week I was like, I don't think this is worth $80. I'm probably not there yet, but I think it's worth $70.
Okay,
for sure. But obviously getting the bundle was cheaper. And other than that, I've loaded up, Pokemon, but I haven't started it yet because I forgot that the save doesn't transfer over.
Which Pokemon?
Fine. It's Violet, Pokemon Violet.
Violet. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't do a transfer, and that's fine because we didn't get very far. So I'll just restart it. But I heard it plays a lot better.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors plays better. I haven't loaded that up yet, but we'll check that out. Yeah, I mean, God, it was fucking framey as shit when we played that game. Yeah. It was like torture to play that game in split screen, but we did it. We beat it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's Switch Pro.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good.
You'd mentioned playing Breath of the Wild again, so I did play it a second time. Because we played it on your Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii U.
Whenever I played it, beat it through that. And then I eventually got it on... When I got a Switch, I got it on Switch, and I played through it again.
Nice.
I didn't intend to. I just started playing it because I'm like, well, I have my own Switch copy now. I got to test it out, and then,
That's what's happening right now. I'm like, I just got to test out, see what it's like on Switch too. And then I just kept playing. Hours later, I'm like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, and that's just kind of how it went, because it was just like, it's such a good game.
It's incredible, man. Unparalleled. And there's so many things, having just completed Tears of the Kingdom, honestly, like a couple months ago, there's a lot of things from Tears of the Kingdom that I am missing in this. Like, it is more constrained, but honestly, the constraint makes this, I don't know if better is the right word, but different. I don't know. They're both, I consider them the same game. Put them together.
Yeah. I'm curious what Nintendo has for this fall.
I'm not just clinging on to the hope because I fucking drafted a 3D Mario game in fucking Fantasy Critic, but I really do think that there's going to be a big game that they haven't announced yet. Yeah. And I think it's Mario. So
I would assume it's Mario.
Yeah, me too.
I think it would make sense, but I don't know what else. I don't know what else that they would have.
Well, because they haven't dated fucking Metroid, so I don't know if they. I doubt they think that's their big. I don't think that they think that's their big fall game.
No. Metroid has never been
a big seller.
It's always a solid seller, but it's not like massive sales like Zelda or Mario.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
It could be Animal Crossing.
Ooh. That would be fucking wild.
When's the last time they did? I mean, the last Animal Crossing was 2020.
Yeah.
And they know it's like one of the best-selling games ever for the Switch.
Yep. Start with Mario Kart and Animal Crossing. That'd be crazy.
I mean, that would be the 1-2 punch, honestly. To get people to people that picked up the Switch for those games to move over to Switch 2. So yeah, I would think you're right. I would think it's either a Mario or an Animal Crossing. It's one of those best-selling games, franchises.
Yeah, the one thing that's throwing me off is Donkey Kong. It's a 3D platformer. Like, would they do 2 3D platformers in the same year? I'm not sure, but I think if they didn't have something surprise planned for the fall, Donkey Kong would have been later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we go by total units sold of games, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was top at 68 million right now. Animal Crossing New Horizons was second at 47.8.
Crazy.
And Smash was at 36.2.
Maybe it's Smash. No, it's not Smash. He's doing
That's not Smash yet. I don't think Smash yet. I think the earliest we get Smash is 2026 timeframe, probably fall 2026.
I hope what they do is just like, we have 2 more Fighters passes. Like, it's Ultimate, again, repackaged, whatever, but then we're going to add a couple Fighter passes. Yeah. Like, otherwise, I don't know what else you can do. Take it back to basics.
I don't know.
Now it's a 3D fighter. Fuck.
Yeah. And you have Pokemon Legend ZA sometime this year. But there is probably going to be another, like, normal Pokemon game.
This year?
Not this year.
Not
next
year. No.
Yeah, I bet next year.
Yep, me too. I just think
colored one, or whatever they want to decide to call it.
I just think there's going to be one more big Nintendo game we don't know about. And I don't know if I don't know if we're not going to have a Direct anymore, because they're like, we're just going to announce shit in our Nintendo Today app, because they announced today there's a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct on Wednesday, which is great, because I'm very, very, very excited for that game. I hope it's good.
I think it'll be decent no matter what. Like, I always feel like even Nintendo's games like that are usually 8s most of the time, even if they're not like the most amazing things ever. Like, Nintendo gives you a solid product for the most part all the time, unless they're getting weird and experimental. But
well, that game's gonna come out when I'm in Denver doing my doctorate, and I'm not bringing my Switch 2 on my trip. I'm bringing my Switch 1, so it'll be something I play when I get back to reward myself for completing that first leg of my doctorate. But yeah, I mean, if it really is, we don't know yet. They're being coy with the developer like they always do now. But if it's the Odyssey team, like, I expect big things. So
I do too. Who knows? Who knows?
What if it's a fucking Fire Emblem?
I mean, that's possible too. Like, because they did the Engage, which I would call the. It wasn't as grand as Three Houses.
No,
in it, like, it was a smaller Fire Emblem, and I'm like, but I mean, they could, but again, I'm like, did Three Houses actually
sell a ton? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking.
That was pretty successful.
It's the 36th highest selling game on Switch at 4 million, just over 4 million.
Oh wow, that's far less than I thought, considering there are 150 switches out in the million switches out in the wild.
Yep. I mean, it's a cool game. I really like Three Houses, but it's not. I get that it's not a.
It's not a system seller.
Like, broad audience game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's 3D Mario. I'm putting all my money on it. 3D Mario is coming out. We're gonna get fucking Direct, and they're gonna announce 3D Mario and all the they don't need to right now because they're still in the fucking high of the selling a ton of Switches. Oh, you know what? We talked about. I'll say you said it. Nintendo puts out a quality product, but we didn't talk about Welcome Tour. That doesn't seem to be reviewing very well.
No, of course it's not. Why would they even charge for that stupid thing?
It's a fucking manual. Like, just what the hell, dude? Oh well.
I wonder how Xenoblade Chronicles X plays on Switch 2.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard, actually. I know that they had like a secret 60 FPS mode, but I haven't heard anyone say how it's been running. But people have been testing a bunch of shit, and lots of stuff is running better. So
yeah.
And apparently Cyberpunk 2077 runs decently.
I would expect decently is about as good as I would expect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, very cool though. We'll see if the sales keep up overall. I think it's up now. It's up to Nintendo to give more reasons to have one. Like,
the reasons, and then have the stock, because this summer really after Donkey Kong, it's like, here it's Mario Party with Plus, it's Kirby with Plus. Like, okay, we've played those games. What's new? What's enticing?
What's new? Yeah. What is the thing that's really driving people to get a Switch to make that upgrade? That's what I'm waiting for, and I expect probably around this fall they'll give me something. They'll be like, okay, it's time for me to get one.
You gotta get one for Age of Imprisonment. That's gonna be
kind of. That's gonna be good. But that's just winter. It's not even said. They said winter, but they didn't say the year.
It's gonna be fucking February 2026.
Yeah, that's what I expect. I expect that it's February 2026.
Exactly.
January, February.
Yep. Oh, January makes more sense. I think you're right. Yeah, January.
But either way, it's like, oh, you were coy with winter, so whatever.
Yep. Didn't say a year. But man, my daughter, I know your daughter too, very excited for that game. So.
Yes. We'll see. Very excited though.
So what have you been playing? Yeah, have you been playing anything?
A little bit of Magic Arena. That has been the most of it. That's about it. Path of Exile started a league. I put about a half an hour into a Path of Exile 1 league, and they added mercenaries to the game.
Oh.
Finally. After all these years.
They didn't have that.
Exactly.
Wow.
And to get your mercenary, you don't just hire them. You have to fight them and win.
Oh,
and then they join. Then they join you. You have an when you go up to a mercenary in a map, you have the option of fighting them for them to join you, fighting them to get a piece of their gear, like that. You can view their whole gear loadout, and if you want it, you can fight them and get a piece of gear, or fight them to say, "I never want to see you again."
Oh wow.
And it exiles them for like a certain number of like maps, so that you never come across that mercenary again.
Wow.
But yeah, you have to fight and win to do it. So it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, that's different than
but they're mercenaries. Yeah, they have a lot more variety than like the Diablo 2 mercenaries, which isn't shocking.
Yeah.
But I played only like a half an hour just to see what it was. But yeah, not a ton, because holy crap, I'm making a game. There's a lot of game to make, and when I'm not making game and doing that, I'm looking at these Final Fantasy cards.
Hell yeah, they're amazing.
My wife's like, "Are you just fiddling with your cards?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's what I'm doing."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, haven't you looked at them a lot already? And I'm like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And I continue to look, and now I have 4 commander decks to look at.
Exactly. Lucky you with your commander decks. Although
you'll get them hopefully tomorrow.
We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully first stop, because they forgot.
Jesus Christ,
right?
Wouldn't that be nice? Like, oh, sorry, man, we fucked you over yesterday. Here you go.
Yeah.
First world problems. There's much bigger things happening in the world, so first world problems. And my Switch showed up, and then Travis's Switch showed up, so it all worked out. He visited last week, and I gave him his Switch, got my money. Nice. It's all good. So yeah, me, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7 Remake again, playing Breath of the Wild, playing Mario Kart World, shit ton of Mario Kart World. And that's really it. Yeah, and then just a lot of time looking at Final Fantasy stuff online, Final Fantasy Magic decks, thinking, should I buy some more? No, stop.
I mean, you'll have years to keep buying more as you need.
Yeah. Do you think they'll keep printing boosters over the years?
They have to. It's standard legal.
Oh, fucking great point. Okay, that's good.
The next next restock from official WotC communications to stores that was in their Wizards Premier Network forums.
Right.
WotC was like, hey, there's new cards, another shipment of cards coming in July.
Okay.
Of play boosters, commander decks, starter kits.
I'm surprised that there's that much lag. Like, people
it takes a while to print cards. I'll be honest. I bet they saw the pre-sale numbers were higher than they expected and immediately went to print again, and that's how long it takes to print and ship.
Okay. I do wonder the process, and you may know this. Like, is there, it's probably computers or whatever, but is there someone who's like, okay, I've got 4 commons, I need 8 commons, 3 uncommons.
They're big giant sheets. Like,
okay.
Uncut sheets of card. Like, I actually have one for a Warcry set, which was a card game I worked on, Warhammer Warcry. I have our foil uncut sheet that we had.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I can't remember how many cards are on it. Certain number of rows and columns. And you lay out through a program like where the cards are on this sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, there's a lot of rules you have to care about of like how many times so the sheet was a foil sheet, which was in Warcry was only rare and effectively mythic, our version of mythic cards. Those were foils. There weren't foils of everything. So it was the rares and mythics, and we had to make sure that how many times each one appeared on the sheet, and making sure that none of them appeared next to each other 2 times.
Huh.
Because they're just going to get cut, and then put into basically little hoppers. And then those hoppers are what, like when they do packs, it's just a machine that just drops a certain number of each card into the booster, and then they get sealed.
But like one sheet doesn't become one pack.
No, it's like hundreds of cards in a sheet. And those get filtered into different hoppers and do the whole thing. So yeah, the sheets get printed, and then they get cut, and then they get put in the hoppers, and then those hoppers feed into just an assembly line of booster packs coming down the row. I think it's more complicated now with Wizard. Like, that was 20 years ago. But the process is effectively still the same, but I think it's more complicated in like how you're seeing booster packs with 1 to 4 rares in them now.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more variance on what like gets into those hoppers, and probably more intricate uncut sheet setups so that they get cut in interesting ways and produce this. Because my thing is, when opening a whole booster box, I was seeing, I think I said this in the last podcast or 2 ago, rare slots seem completely fine, commons seem completely fine, but there seems to be weirdness in the uncommons that I could see if I opened the first uncommon that I open as I'm going through the pack, and I hit the first uncommon, I could pretty much about 75% of the time tell you the next 3 uncommons that I was going to get, because they were streaking. They didn't. They probably appeared in that order on the sheet multiple times.
Yeah, right.
And I actually wonder if that's why getting a Sid is really hard. At least for the product we're getting, because I see Sids all over online, people are selling, so probably where it was printed matters. They use a lot of printers. So it's an interesting thing there, but I saw it. I was like, oh, yeah, their collation is not perfect on this set. Rares seem fine.
Because I would assume, I don't know, maybe not, but like a booster box maybe is like the same sheets cut in the same factory.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be roughly all stuff right around the same printing time.
Right.
When they're doing it. So, yeah. It's a problem. You'll see that in a lot of card games.
Because when I opened up the during pre-release, I kept getting the same 2 cards in a row.
Yep.
Interesting.
That probably means they appear on the sheet right next to each other. And more than one time they appear right next to each other like that on the sheet. Because if it was only one time per sheet, then you likely wouldn't see it that often. But that means that they doubled up a little bit, unfortunately.
Well,
you'd think now that there would be something like a computer program that would work this out, but
I wonder if it's better, but not fixed.
Yeah,
completely. I guess the moral is don't pay more than MSRP for boosters, because there's going to be a bunch coming. So
absolutely not. Like, you should. They will want to keep this in print at least for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
because people need to use this if they're playing standard. They need these cards. They want people to be able to go and buy these cards.
That's nice, because I have a much longer time frame to get the whole complete set, and then I can keep doing my open a booster a day thing for quite a while. Once those, because I'm still gonna have boosters to open by the time July comes around, and I'm gonna be, buying a new set. So buying a new box.
Yeah, we'll see how much long demand stays as high as it is, and keep selling them out. But at some point it's gonna stop. And the other thing is, it's with the play boosters, almost all the treatments are available in play boosters as well. It's not like there's very few treatments that are specific to collector boosters, like Surge Foils are, those ink.
Oh, I thought everything in a collector's booster was like special to a collector booster.
No.
Oh, then what the fuck? Fuck that.
There's only a few things specifically in there. Commander, like fancy commander cards, only in collectors.
Okay.
So like extended art commander cards, and like character art numbers for the commander.
Sure. The extended art Buster Sword is
Yeah,
only in
stuff like
yeah.
No, the extended art Buster Sword is in play boosters.
Oh.
That really fancy piece of art, yeah, because it's anything that's a standard legal card is, for the most part, available in play boosters at a much lower rate. But the neon ink traveling chocobos are not available in play boosters, and the serialized traveling chocobo is not. Surge foils, you'll never get a surge foil in a play booster.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, you pay extra because like you will get the collector boosters are just a lot of those fancy treatments in one go. But I mean, you opened one of the fancy Jex, and you've opened a fancy Tifa. Like,
yep, right.
Like, all that stuff is available in play boosters and will always be available in play boosters. So that's also why the single price of those will probably come down over time, because there'll just be a lot more of them available.
There'll be more, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of feeling of, I have it too, of FOMO, of like, I'm not going to get this stuff, but I just have to remind myself, no, I'll easily be able to get this stuff. The only cards that are going to be truly expensive over time are the ones that get picked up into, like, competitive standard decks, like Yuna. The Yuna card from the base set, its price like crashed after the pre-sale and has consistently been going up now because there's a deck using Yuna, a really competitive deck using Yuna. So those alt art treatments of her card are just starting to. It's like Hope of Spirits, the standard set one, and they're just going up in price now, because people want 4 copies of it to play in their standard decks.
Exactly. I thought I pulled that card. I'll have to go back and look.
You might. Yeah, it's a cool card, but yeah. Don't worry. And anyone listening to this, if you just want the cards and you're not trying to get neon inked chocobos or serialized chocobo, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Has anyone found one of those yet?
I've heard that ones have been found.
Okay.
I thought one potentially went up for sale for like a ridiculous, like, tens of thousands of dollars.
Holy shit, for one fucking card, man.
I mean, let's look here. The neon ones are super rare as well. High to low. There's there's a Japanese black borderless traveling chocobo for $5,000 right now on TCG Player.
God.
The green, red, and blue neon inks are all about $1,000 each.
Wow.
It's just, it's a traveling chocobo. It's the same card mechanically. Yeah, exactly. It's just rare treatments. I mean, that's just what it is. But people who want those that actually becomes a thing of like, hey, I'm investing in a Magic card at this point. And
exactly. Yep.
I'm going to tell you, investing in Magic cards is one of the worst things you could do as an actual like investment. Just saying, like, it's a bonus if one becomes worth more. But
sure.
If you're planning your retirement around investing in Magic cards, I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly. No, don't do it.
This is not a regulated market at all.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But yeah, that's all I got. I could talk about Final Fantasy for a while, but
hell yeah,
I think we should end it.
Well, one thing I didn't talk about is what else I've been playing, because it will set us up for the next episode. I've been playing Player Obscure Expedition 33. I believe I am further than you, which
I think you are right now.
Surprises the fuck out of me from 10 years of podcasting with you. But our goal is, I don't know if it's still our goal, Anthony, to do the spoiler cast for Chapter 2 next week.
I think I can do it. Pretty sure.
So? Okay.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, well, I'll tell you where I am next week.
Okay.
But I'm having a lot of fun. There's some really interesting story turns. I think it's a good game. I don't think it's going to knock Blueprints off the pedestal of Game of the Year for me, but I certainly am enjoying my time with it quite a bit. So
Cool.
Yeah. We will talk more about that next week. And thanks so much for listening, everybody. Prof and Dev Play Games is a podcast where we just talk to each other about video games. Two friends having fun. We're glad that you're here listening to us. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice. And next week, we'll talk about Clair Obscure Expedition 33 Act 2.
Later, everyone.